In the headlines, NNPP presidential candidate unveils manifesto, electoral promises. 11 months after, police yet to arraign killers of Katsina Slain Commissioner Rabi Nasir. EFCC raids Forex market as Naira continues free fall. And on the international scene, Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed says peace talks marred by foreign interference. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. We begin with politics now, where the New Nigeria People's Party presidential candidate Rabiu Kwankwaso has promised to address the 20 million out-of-school children in Nigeria and scrap payment of examination fees at secondary school level if elected to leave the country. Kwankwaso, who made the promises while unveiling his blueprint for Nigerians in Abuja, also pledged to provide jobs and address insecurity by strengthening the nation's security architecture. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman reports.
Unveiling what he called an organic blueprint to Nigerians put together by a committee he chaired, the NNPP presidential candidate enumerated his policy options in security, economy, education, healthcare, among several other sectors.
We live in a country where victims of insecurity are constantly being ignored, or worse still, being accused of exaggeration, or lying, or both. We live in a country where victims of unemployment are accused of laziness. We live in a country where universities and other tertiary education institutions are frequently being shut down for months, and our children's future being jeopardized while leaders are busy throwing out hundreds of millions of naira to purchase party nomination forms.
While promising to run a citizens-oriented government with active participation of people at the grassroots, Kwankwaso proposed enhanced investments in key sectors of the economy that could address governance deficit and reset the country to the path of sustainable development.
A Nigeria where justice and fairness rule, a Nigeria where safety and security are assured, a Nigeria where peace and prosperity are guaranteed, a Nigeria where equity and opportunity are available and accessible to all students, and a Nigeria where governance is about the yearnings and aspirations of all the students.
The blueprint, though consistent with the raging restructuring debate, but without taking a stance on the specifics, however, does not articulate responses to contemporary global economic drivers such as digital economy, foreign policy objectives, amongst others. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Meanwhile, Katsina State Governor Aminu Masari has inaugurated the Dikko Jobe APC Governorship Campaign Council for the 2023 elections. While inaugurating the council, the governor appealed to aggrieved party members to forgive the party of any wrongdoing and unite to win the upcoming elections. The committee has different political personalities and experts as members that will spearhead the campaign activities. Jamil Mobay has details.
As 2023 political campaigns in Katsina State gather momentum, the All Progressive Congress in the state on Monday inaugurated its campaign council and unveiled its strategic document and action plan for the 2023 political dispensation. The event held at the banquet hall of the Katsina Local Government Service Commission had huge crowd in attendance, including 4 APC governorship aspirants who lost out in the primary election. Among them is architect Ahmed Musa Dengiwa, the former managing director of the Federal Mortgage Bank, Nigeria. He is now appointed as the Director General of the Dikko Jobe 2023. Addressing the huge crowd, The state governor, Aminu Bello Masari, noted that the inaugurated campaign council is saddled with the responsibility of ensuring victory for both the APC presidential and the governorship candidates. The governor seized the opportunity to appeal to APC members whom they may have been offended for forgiveness, even as he said they have also forgiven those who offended them. The APC governorship candidate, Dr. Dikko Umar Ratta, described the task before the campaign council as a huge task, but expressed confidence in the ability and the capacity of the team to actualize the anticipated victory for the ruling party in the state. The campaign council is to be chaired and co-chaired by Governor Aminu Masari and Dr. Dikko Umar Ratta. Others are Umar Tata, Yakubu Manir, and Farouk Jobi, who is now Dikko's running mate. Jamil Mobay, Trust Television, Katsina.
And still talking politics, Deputy Chairperson of the Labour Party in Oyo State, Olubukola Olayinka, has announced her exit from the party. The Deputy Chairperson, who defected to the PDP, cited unresolved internal feuds and lack of unity within the party as part of her reasons for quitting. The erstwhile Labour Party leader assured her teeming supporters that the PDP remains the only platform to rescue Nigeria from the current economic crisis.
In the spirit of sincerity, love, and progress, I wish to officially announce our exit from Labour Party. I am not alone in this decision, as the people who believe in my political mentorship are also on the same page with me. Undoubtedly, our withdrawal from Labour Party is the resultant effect of protracted internal feud and incursion among the leadership of Labour Party in Oyo State.
Now to matters of security, where bandits abducted over 40 children working on a farm on Sunday afternoon in Faskari local government area. The bandits surrounded the farm, shooting sporadically with AK-47 rifles before abducting the children. About 39 of the kidnapped victims are from Meirua village of Faskari district. And according to some residents of Meirua village who called Trust TV News in Katsina, the bandits arrived at the farm on motorcycles and disguised as looking for drinking water before they started shooting to scare their victims. The residents say they had to hire the services of vigilante members before harvesting their farm produce. They said that many communities had to pay money in millions to the bandits to allow farmers harvest their crops. Farming communities in Faskari, Ndume and Sabua are appealing to relevant authorities to provide adequate security that will allow them evacuate produce from their farms. Meanwhile, Borgu Emirate Council and Borgu local government area of Niger State has ordered the closure of all major markets in the area over increased fear of attacks by suspected insurgents. The order follows the Saturday attack on a military cantonment in Wawa near Kainji Dam. The public relations officer of Borgu Youth Development Association, Muhammad Kabir, said in a statement he issued on behalf of the Emirate Council after an emergency meeting on Monday evening that the decision was taken following the unrest in communities since the last attack. He said the Emirate Council had also imposed curfew between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. beginning from Monday night. Kabir said the council also resolved that cars and motorcycle owners must obtain number plates or risk seizure. He said all commercial motorcycle riders must also wear reflective vests for proper identification. Armed men suspected to be insurgents on Saturday night attacked army cantonment in Wawa Borgu local government area, where 8 insurgents were reportedly neutralized by troops. Now to legal matters, where the Court of Appeal in Abuja has discharged and acquitted Major Akim Adirogba Oseni, who was earlier convicted of manslaughter over the death of a junior colleague. In a statement by Mike Ezehome on Tuesday, Oseni had been sentenced to 10 years in prison in a judgment on February 7, 2020. In February 2017, Oseni and 3 other officers, Major O. Osau, Captain S. Amosu, and Lieutenant Dogari, were instructed to drill a soldier, Lance Corporal Benjamin Collins, who attempted a jailbreak. Major Oseni was court-martialed by the military authorities along with others on a lone count of manslaughter. The court sat at Command Officers Mess, Asokoro, Abuja. Judgment was delivered on 7th February 2020, sentencing Major Aderogba to 10 years imprisonment. The sentence was confirmed on the 24th of November 2020 by the Army Council. Captain Amosu, Aderogba's co-accused, was acquitted at the point of sentence on February 7th, 2020. Meanwhile, 1 year after the killers of slain Katsina Commissioner are still not found, police authorities in Katsina have denied granting bail to the suspected killers of late Commissioner Rabi Nasir. Until his assassination, Rabi Nasir was Commissioner, Ministry of Science and Technology in Katsina State. Abdullahi Ahmadi meets some concerned residents who are worried and asking questions about what they described as a slow pace of investigation into the killing of Rabi Nasir.
Since the unfortunate murder of the former Commissioner Rabi Nasir, little is known about number of arrests of those complicit in his murder. Silence of authorities left residents with unanswered questions of who killed Rabi Nasir and how far police have gone with investigations to ensure justice is served.
The society and the people, they have no any other police in the Nigeria Police Force. And we're all proud of them. It has been reported that they have some of the best friends in terms of investigations. So if the police are handling this issue properly, we expect them to bring results by this time around. It has been long.
We feel a high-profile killing like that of Commissioner of Science and Technology Rabi Nasir should be investigated with seriousness. People need to know what has happened. However, the police dismissed the rumor that many of the suspects arrested in connection with the killing of Rabi Nasir have been released on bail. The police authorities say only one suspect was granted bail on health grounds by court, assuring that police will ensure justice for late Rabi Nasir and his family.
The Katsina State Police Command is doing everything possible in conjunction with the apex body of the investigation, that is the post CID that has taken over the case. As I'm telling you, investigation is ongoing. There are so many things that are going on, but I will not disclose them here on camera. But I assure you, this case is being handled by the more professional hands, and by the special grace of God, the perpetrators of this crime will soon be arrested.
These assurances may raise hope and confidence of family and residents of Katsina State that one day the killers may be named, shamed, and sentenced. Abdullahi Ismail, Trust Television News, Katsina.
You're watching Trust TV News Update, and still ahead, we'll take a look at traditional bone setting in the modern world. For that story and so much more, do stay with us.
This is the road leading up to the Lokoja Bridge from Abuja, and as you can see, tankers carrying fuel, trucks carrying livestock, perishables, and commuters trying to make their way from point A to point B have all been slowed down as a result of the flooding going on in Lokoja.
As I tell you, so my house is inside water like this.
This is my house. Big Breezy is my house.
We have no option than to come here and look for what we chop.
This water have really spoiled many things. Even as I'm talking to you, I'm not in my own house.
I want to encourage them and assure them that their governor, the governor they elected, had come to see them, and government officials have been going there to see them. They are not in this alone. We are with them.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now let's recap our top stories. NNPP presidential candidate unveils manifesto and electoral promises. And 11 months after, police yet to arraign killers of Katsina slain Commissioner Rabi Nasser. And moving on to other news now, 9 persons were injured when fire gutted a bank building under construction on Adeola Odeku Street in Victoria Island of Lagos State. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency LASEMA said the 9 persons, all male adults, suffered burns and injuries and were taken to an unknown hospital. Investigations gathered at the scene revealed that the fire emanated from the generator house. A car belonging to the Rapid Response Squad was also burnt outside the building. First responders, including officials of LASEMA, Lagos Fire Service and Rescue, among others, prevented the fire from spreading. The agency also said the dampening down of the incident scene is currently ongoing. Now, traditional bone setting has been in existence in northern Nigeria and other parts of the country for centuries. Despite time changes, people still seek the service of traditional bone setters at Rigasa community in Igabi local government area of Kaduna State. In this report, Bella Musa examines the work of traditional bone setting in the modern world and some of the challenges associated with the practice.
In developing countries, the traditional care of diseases and afflictions remain popular despite the existence of modern healthcare services. Perhaps more than any other group, traditional caregivers enjoy high patronage and confidence by the society. Jamilu is a bone setter at Rigasa community who inherited the practice from his parents. He explains some of the process involved in traditional bone setting. We use wood from bamboo tree for people with fracture, while we massage those with dislocation and apply herbs. We rely on herbs to treat our clients. Though orthodox medicine has impacted the practice, Jamilu says they still experience people patronage. Our parents used to admit people in our house, but now we offer home service, while others come to our house when they have fracture or dislocation. People often patronize bone setters because of cheaper service, accessibility, quick service, cultural belief, among others. Some of the community members also speak on the traditional bone setters in the community. They helped our community. We rely on them in most cases. Many still believe in them more than the Orthodox. They are important and living in the community, and they offer quick service. Bone setting still exists, with generation of practitioners passing the skills to another generation. Many believe that traditional bone setters, if professionally trained, they could complement orthodox ways of treatment. Bella Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Now, for a look at the economy, where operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, raided the offices of black market currency dealers in Abuja on Tuesday in a bid to halt the rapid fall of the Naira. The Naira plunged rapidly between Monday and Tuesday to more than 814 Naira in Abuja, a week after the Central Bank of Nigeria said it will replace higher notes in a bid to counter counterfeiting, inflation and insecurity. President Muhammadu Buhari has backed the move, saying it will help fight corruption, while his finance minister has criticized the policy. Hopes that the policy could help fight money laundering appears to have backfired as suspected holders of illicit cash scramble to change their stash into foreign currencies, fueling demand for dollars and further plunge in the value of the Naira. The currency crossed the 800 Naira mark for the first time over the weekend, and the decline has shown no sign of abating. On Tuesday, traders told Premium Times they were buying a dollar for as high as 840 Naira, implying that they will sell for more. The Wuse Zone 4 area of Abuja, where currency traders conduct their unauthorized deals, said armed operatives of the EFCC stormed the Sheraton Hotel area of Abuja, arresting Bureau de Change operators. Our reporter saw two white buses parked in front of the Musawa House along Constantine Street of Wuse Zone 4. The anti-graft operatives were seen dragging a BDC operator into one of the waiting vehicles while people surged towards the officials. Meanwhile, the moves by the Central Bank of Nigeria to improve access to finance, particularly for micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, has been commended as over 16.6 trillion Naira in credit has been collateralized on the portal of the National Collateral Registry, NCR. NCR Registrar Bulus Musa said that at a town hall meeting on the sensitization of the use of secured transactions in Movable Assets Act 2017, organized by the Development Finance Department of the CBN in Lagos. He said about 752,000 small-scale industries have registered movable assets to obtain loans from financial institutions since the inception of the NCR in 2017.
The NCR, first of all, is an initiative of the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria and Godwin Emefiele. And it's an initiative from the IFC and the Central Bank of Nigeria. The governor is concerned about catalyzing the economy, the growth of the small and medium-scale industry. The STMA is secured transaction in movable assets, which means we want to use the movable assets as collateral for granting credit. How can the small and medium-scale industry benefit from it? You just need to go to your bank.
For this program, our mandate is to improve access to relevant business services, financial services. I think in the course of the work we've done, we've seen that so many businesses are emerging, so many people are going into businesses. Of course, everybody cannot do white-collar jobs. So people are, have ideas, they're being innovative, but something remains part of the challenge, because I will not say the only challenge, but part of the challenge, and that is access to finance. So that is, one of the reasons why we thought that doing this in collaboration with NCR and the Central Bank.
And hundreds of passengers traveling via the Murtala Mohammed Airport Terminal 2, Lagos, are currently stranded as members of various aviation unions have blocked access to the terminal. The unions have threatened a showdown with the management of the private terminal over the sack of 37 staff, of which 34 are union members, who were sent on compulsory 10-day leave of absence. Vice President and Deputy General Secretary of the union said most of those sacked had worked for the company for a decade. The Vice President said the action was to witch hunt its members working with the terminal operators, stressing that its branch chairman, branch secretary, branch treasurer and branch women leader were all affected by the sack. He said the action of the management contravened Section 20 of the Labour Act on engagement and disengagement of staff by any company in the country, maintaining that the union would kick severely against the act of the management. An aviation analyst condemned the union's action in a statement saying blocking passengers to catch flights operated by airlines and not by terminal operators is the height of lawlessness. He called on authorities concerned to deal with such unpatriotic behavior.
Not for any other reason other than to say to the world that Dr. Wale Babalaki has breached the agreement we signed, both co-signed in the conditions of service of workers in the company. All our national leaders, they have reiterated over and over here that before we can even come to the table to put an end to what is happening right now, first and foremost, we must recall back all the affected union members and the executive that we are sacked. And then the October salary that he actually promised to pay them, which he didn't pay, he didn't fulfill, must also be paid. And afterwards, we can now go to the table to negotiate, to discuss on the other bone of contention.
The Independent Petrol Marketers Association of Nigeria on Monday threatened to withdraw its service over incessant increment in the price of petrol in the eastern part of the country. The marketers, in a statement, blamed private depots for the hike in price. According to them, they are buying from depots at 185 naira per litre, noting that after adding other expenses, the price would increase to 200 naira per litre. The marketers regretted that even at 200 naira per litre, their businesses could not thrive considering the high cost of diesel and the exploitation from private tank depot owners and Nupeng. They implored the federal government to revive all NNPC depots within the eastern zone to enable them get petrol at a regulated price. Now for a look at the foreign scene, where Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed says there is heavy foreign interference in the continuing talks between the government and the Tigray administration. Abiy, who remains hopeful that a peace pact will be reached, said Ethiopians can solve their matters despite international pressure for a ceasefire. He also confirmed the Federal Army's capture of the Tigray towns of Shire, Aksum and Adwa last month from the rebel Tigray People's Liberation Front. Meanwhile, spokeswoman for the African Union Commission Chairperson Musa Faki Mohammed on Monday said there was no date limitation on the talks. The negotiations, which began on the 26th of October in South Africa, continued on Monday, although they were initially expected to end on Sunday. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. For more news, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.